Hello and welcome back to the Not the Old Firm YouTube channel. My name is Ben Banks. Hope we're all feeling slightly better after Scotland's performance on Monday, but optimism ahead of Friday somewhat rising as we get closer to the game on Friday night at Wembley. But ahead of that, we have spoken to another former Scotland international as part of our Euro 2020 file series, this one with Steven Whittaker. He's a former right back, left back, played a bit of everywhere in defence for Scotland over the years, as well as just now he has recently been appointed Dunfermline first team coach after retiring from football after a great career playing the Champions League with teams like Rangers, somewhat ironic for this channel. Great spell down south of Norwich City. Obviously, great highs at Hibs as a youth academy brought then in his second spell. He did not too bad either. And Dunfermline as well, he moved on to the next stage of his career with Peter Grant. So we hope you'd enjoyed plenty of chatting this from his memories of playing at Wembley for Scotland, different bits and bobs about the national team, as well as some Dunfermline related chat. Would bear in mind that this was recorded before Scotland's game against Czech Republic, so perhaps a question or two perhaps seems a bit off on why we're talking about the Czech Republic game like it hasn't happened yet, because at the time of recording it hadn't happened. So we sort of knew that when we recorded, so try to work around it the best way possible. So hopefully there's still plenty of stuff you enjoy in this video regardless. So hope you do enjoy it. Do remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, take it easy.
Cool.
So, have you caught much of the Euros while it's been on? I know you've been away on holiday and things like that before the season stuff starts, or have you just been catching up on it?
I just catching up some of the highlights. I was travelling back from Aberdeen yesterday, so I didn't catch much of the ones yesterday at all. So when I was catching up last night, I obviously seen the Ericsson thing, and was just shocked at all the events of that day, if you like. So that was sad, but obviously great that he's come through it. And then I watched the England game today, so need to see what we're going to come up against. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, I know.
Watch.
This will probably be out after the Czech Republic game. But looking at the England-Croatia game, the two teams that you'll face after that, don't know if it's just because I've not seen Scotland in a major tournament and not seen us getting battered by any teams of that, but I think England looked like they could go up a couple of levels, but Croatia definitely, I thought they'd have been a lot better than they were.
Yeah, I think England dominated the game. Listened to the punditry and thoughts after it, they were all, buzzing with the England performance. I know the scoreline probably says it was quite close, but it wasn't really. I think England dominated and probably deserved to win by more. We know with the quality of these guys, we're going to have to be at our best, but we've got quality on our side as well, so we'll be looking to hurt them just as much as they hurt us.
For me, at least, I feel that the England games, nothing's a free hit in a 3-game group, but it's more of a just take your chances and see what happens in the Czech Republic game especially. The Croatian and the Czech Republic game, I think you need to be winning either of them to have any chance of getting out of the group.
Yeah, I think this game's vital. I think this kind of sets us up. If we can come through that with 3 points, like you say, we can kind of go into the other two knowing that we've got that 3 points in the bag. We can have a go at England. A draw against Croatia might even be enough to kind of see us there, but a win to start us off, give us that 3 points to build on would be fantastic.
I know in the presser last week, when your retirement and stuff was announced, you said it was the pinnacle of your career. Is always a bit different watching the national team these days, given your experience with it.
Yeah, we were obviously unlucky at times, but we never managed to get to the major tournament. Probably one of the levels that I never quite managed to play in my career. Managed to, play Premier League, play Champions League, but always wanted to make it there for the country. But for one reason and another, we never quite made it. So it's great to see the guys there, for the country, for the football fans. It's fantastic. And, I'm going to be cheering them on with everyone else and hoping they can get the results to progress.
And the sort of, maybe, I don't know how long it is, I was speaking to Kenny Miller, I'm assuming you're sort of rough time stamp with him around 2013-14 age in terms of when you finished. It's great to see in terms of that time period how much the national team's developed in terms of the amount of players you've got, not just playing at Premier League level, but playing at the highest point of the Premier League.
Yeah, I think that's always a good gauge. The more players in the national side that you can get playing the highest level as possible, it's only going to benefit us. Bring the rest of the players on as well. They need to get to their standards to show up well in training, so they're pushing themselves constantly. And I think that's shown in the performances. I think, since Steve Clark's went in, he's built a team, he's built a way of playing, and the boys are buying into that. And I think that showed. Everyone's, really, really doing a bit when they pull the jersey on at the minute. It's great to watch.
I think Scotland have got that billing that his Kilmarnock team perhaps had. I know you played again a couple of maybe games against it. They were perhaps just hard to beat, and that was pretty much it. But I think there's a bit more to the Scotland team than that, and I think people will start to see that hopefully in the Monday game and then Friday and the Monday following that.
Yeah, I think you could maybe argue that at the start when he took over, but I think you need to build from a foundation. So I think first and foremost, let's stop conceding goals and then we build it up. It's not going to magically fix overnight or in 1 or 2 games. It's a constant progression, and I think if you looked at Scotland when Steve took over to what they are now, that's what it's been. The results were actually all pretty good all the way through, but the performance level with that has been, a big improvement. And we can start to see, the attacking players and attacking flair on the side over the last couple of games, and it's quite exciting to watch. And I think along with everyone else, we're really looking forward to see what this tournament brings.
In terms of the Wembley game, good memories from your time playing at the down south against England.
Yeah, Kenny's last game. Yeah, it was. Well, we never obviously won the game, but there were good games to play, and there were just the atmosphere, full Wembley was fantastic. We didn't quite get there again. We got good plaudits for how we played, but we didn't win the game. We got beat 3-2 on the day. Nice for Kenny to obviously get a couple of goals against the big rivals to end his kind of Scotland playing days. It was nice for him. But yeah, obviously we would have liked to get the result as well.
It's going to be obviously quite different, I would assume, from back then, not even talking about the crowd and stuff, but I think it's fair to say both national teams have changed quite significantly and probably for the better as well. I think you could argue that England look a lot better than they did maybe back then as well.
Yeah, I think obviously Gareth's brought through a lot of the youth, and they've got a flux of really talented players, especially at the top end of the pitch, that they can choose from. You see the players on the bench and the talent that they're producing week in, week out in the Premier League is brilliant. So we know it's going to be a tough game, but we believe in a one-off game. Anything can happen. So we're still going to the game, hoping and believing that we can get something from it.
We're just looking at the team line for that game in 2013. Alan Hutton was playing. So where did that leave you?
I played left back. I think I played a lot of games at left back for Scotland because at the time it was a little bit like now with Kieran and Robbo, both good left backs, and it was the same when me and Alan Hutton were fighting for that position. But I was sometimes moved to the left side. I'd done that a little bit with Rangers and even at Hibs. Played left side midfield, so I was used to being at that side of the park, maybe a little bit more than Alan. And so you do anything to get a game for Scotland and pull on that jersey. So I was quite happily just to be in the starting 11, wherever it was.
Well, we've went from Alan Hutton and Steven Whittaker conundrum to Tierney and Robertson. Where did it all go wrong? I mean,
yeah, only if we could have mixed and matched a little bit there, but that's just the way it is. The guys that are playing at the minute, it's a team effort, and you see Stephen O'Donnell in there doing great, and not playing at the level that some of the other guys might be in week in, week out, but he's still there doing his bit for his country and the team, so it's great to see.
I think that is going to be a bit odd, and there's a few players like that. Like, I don't think Declan Gallagher, for example, maybe when he was in Clyde and Dundee and places like that, they'd be playing against Harry Kane at the Euros at Wembley and things like that. And even there's a lot. Kevin Nisbet's obviously one of the ones taking headlines. There's a lot of guys in there that have proper went to the lower depths of football to come back up to this point.
Yeah, without a doubt, I think that's what brings the national side together. You do get these different levels of where people are playing at in their club career, and that's what I spoke about earlier. The more you can get playing at higher level, these guys, the other guys that are maybe playing at a slightly lower level, they have to reach the standards higher to match them. They'll want to show up well against them in training, it's only going to enhance their game, which is then great for the team performance in general, if you like. So I'm sure that's what's been the case when the team meets up. The training sessions will be competitive. They're all fighting to try and get in the starting 11. So it's great to see that we've got a lot of guys playing at a really high level at the minute.
I've been speaking to a few people sort of in and around the squad at the time you were. In the last few, it's obviously very positive now, but speaking to Kenny on Friday, if his connection in Australia wanted to work, and Christoph Berra on Friday, Andy Webster, and different people, everybody's pretty much saying that the atmosphere around the time, maybe sort of late noughties, early 2010s, was like really quite intense. Did you sort of find that as well?
Yeah, I think there's always pressure that comes with playing for Scotland. We all, was it since '98, we all wanted to get to a tournament. And the longer you go not getting there, then the pressure mounts, if you like, and you feel like it's never going to come. And that was a little bit like our era when we played. It just never quite unfolded, and the breaks that you maybe need to go your way throughout qualification just didn't quite fall into place for us. But it has for these group of boys that are there now, and good luck to them. I'm sure they'll enjoy the experience and hopefully get a couple of results that we can all cheer them on.
It's probably not that it takes away from the achievement, but it's obviously a bit easier to get to the Euros through the Nations League and different things. I think it's 16 out of 24 that gets into the last 16. So it's harder to miss out in the last 16 than it is to actually go out in the group stages. So a real chance for history here for these guys.
Yeah, again, it's obviously that we took the different route into this, through the playoffs. But again, you're going to take any version to get there. You're going to try and make the most of it. So it's great that we took advantage of that. When we played, we never had that option to try and achieve playing at a major championship. But for these guys, they've took advantage of that option, and it's great for them to be there.
For you personally, I know the ultimate goal was missed, but still racked up some amount of appearances, and you're in the top half in terms of people who've actually turned out for Scotland. I mean, do you still look back on it with a lot of fondness?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think you can, not playing for your country, regardless of the results. You've still, you've got into that elite 11. You're playing one position that, you've chosen the whole country that was you that playing that match. So there's nothing, nobody can take that away from you. I played 31 times caps. A lot of them were qualification games as well. So it was a good amount, and I loved pulling on the jersey every time that I'd done it, and never took it for granted.
What was it? Lasted 9 years about. So that's a pretty decent length of time for managers in that time as well. Yeah,
I went through a few managers, but yeah, I think it was. I think I made a squad when I was doing well at Hibs. I think Walter was a manager, and then Walter took the Rangers job, and he ended up signing me, and then played under George Burley, and the few that followed after that. So yeah, I played over a few campaigns, and there were some great times, and some heartache along the way, and that's part and parcel of being a Scotland fan, I think.
Yeah, I think all these moments sort of pave to this moment we're going to have Monday and then Friday, and that is, even though you have been part of the heartache and things like that, there's obviously been some good moments in there in individual games, but the overall success hasn't been there. It has contributed, I suppose, to what's going to come for Scotland in the next couple of weeks.
No, like I say, it was a different time, a different group of guys that are coming through, and they're all stepping up to the mark. They're all playing at a good level. I think this team, regardless of qualifying through the Nations League, I think they would have qualified through the normal route, if you like, because we've got such talented guys in there playing, like we've said, playing in the top 4 or 5 clubs in the Premier League. Guys, Robo winning Champions League, things like that. Kieran Tierney down there doing great stuff. McTominay at Man United. So, we all know what John McGinn's capable of on his day as well. So, I've played with John, and every time you watch him, he just makes you smile the way he plays and goes about his business. So it's great to have these guys in here, and like I say, I'm sure they would have, qualified through the normal route as well.
I think as well as that, they're good off the park. I think John McGinn was out trying to punt a tape measure with his name on it to Gordon Smart yesterday and different things like that. And even on a more solemn note, Andy Robertson, the first thing he said in his presser before the game tomorrow was the message to Christian Eriksen and things like that. They seem like a good group off it as much as that, and that's probably been a bit of it. There's a lot of likeable characters in there, basically.
Yeah, I think that always helps. It was the same when I was in the squads. There was no egos, and I'm sure that's the same now. We're all, as a nation or as a squad, they all want the same thing. They all want to achieve it. So and nobody can do it themselves. So we all need to be together on this. So there's no doubt that you can see it in the performances and the way that everything is at the minute. It's all positive. They're all doing it together, and they know they need each other to get there.
I'm assuming you might, or at least try to sponge some free tickets off John or whatever it is. I mean, try and get one of the golden ones if high enough in his priority list yet.
I did send him a text a while back. I think that was before all these restrictions. So I don't know if I quite make the cut anymore. But I know what it's like when the people are texting you for tickets and stuff. So I'll just watch it on the telly and look forward to seeing the result and the performance.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting one. How do you think they'll do in the tournament? I think I've looked at a few of the permutations. You could go and win the group and you get a France or a Portugal or stuff, or you could finish third and you could end up with a Turkey or a Denmark. But I suppose if we're going to win it, you need to beat everybody at some point.
Yeah, I don't think you can look too far, into it like that. I think it's get as many points as you can on the board in the group to try and qualify for the next point and see how the draw kind of falls. So the boys will be doing that. They'll know what needs to be done, and we know how important this first match is going to be. And hopefully we can come out all guns blazing and get a result that's going to set us up nicely for the next two.
In terms of Dunfermline news, I'm assuming you are back in pre-season this coming week, or is it the week after?
Yeah, the boys have been in Friday, Saturday, just past doing their tests. So tomorrow, the Monday, is our first official day, if you like, all together, doing some work. So I think we're going in slightly earlier so we can get the work done and hopefully get away and see the match. Yeah,
it's been quite I know fans online and things like that and not just with Dunfermline, with every club just wanting signings announced like pretty much every day and things like that. But I think in terms of Dunfermline, from what I know, it's more quality over quantity, and it's not going to be like last summer where it was like 10 in, 10 out job. It'll just be refining the squad because it did fairly well last season.
Yeah, I think you've probably called it there. Yeah, we had a big, transition at the club last summer when Stevie, so we had to bring in the numbers. But these guys are obviously still here. There'll be a couple that might move on, and there'll be maybe a couple that will come in. So we're definitely looking to strengthen the team. That'll need to be done. It happens every season at most clubs. Is competition for places only drives on the players that are there already. And yeah, we want to add quality to try and improve and develop on what we achieved last year. So it'll be an ongoing process. These things don't happen overnight, I suppose, and we need to be patient and make sure we get the right ones in the door.
Different for you being on the other side of it. I mean, I'm sure you're obviously involved in a few high-profile transfers and different things like that in your career, but different seeing it from the other side in terms of coaching perspective and what you want in your team and things like that.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. You're making inquiries here and there. You're speaking to people and giving them your thoughts on players coming in and out. So it's all good. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I got a feel for it last year and really enjoying just focusing fully on the coaching side of it now. And there's me, Greg, and the gaffer, and kind of working together on the football side of it. And we're really looking forward to hopefully getting performances, an improvement hopefully on last year and results. We want to push forward and improve on everything that we've done last year.